Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, it's all going very well for us with Distillery at the moment. Both Larne and Linfield have dropped early points and we are at the top of the league. But we've had our first defeat of the season last weekend, and now with the SPFL Trust Trophy here, I'm contemplating a rotated side. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 74 of this Build a Nation story, Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today to play in my favourite competition for the first time in this entire save, and it's a tough one as well. We face Welsh regular champions TNS, and they are a side with lots of European experience and lots of upgrades to their squad. We'll also face Ballymena United, who at the moment are our closest contenders in the title race. But as you can see from the top right of the screen, we have just had our first defeat of the season, domestically that is. So let's see if we can get back to winning ways. If you want to find out if we can and you're looking forward to this one, please do add a thumbs up on the video. Let's start by having a look at the schedule and seeing what's going on since you were last here. Because the simple answer is, it had been very good until last weekend, where we've just had a little blip in the road. So you were with me at the end of August as we played against Cliftonville. We got a 1-0 win on deadline day. They're yet to pick up a point remarkably. And let's be fair, we look at a very good start to the league season. We've not played either of the big two. Linfield and Larne we haven't faced. We were run close by Coleraine, by Glenarvan. We were beaten by Glentoran. Ballymena probably the next best who we face in this episode. So we can't judge too much just yet. But we did create a safe passage through in the Antrim Shield. The one domestic cup that we haven't won yet, a 4-1 victory there with McElhatton and Wilson getting one each, as well as Burns and Lewis Scott as well. A 1-0 win at home to Warren Point, Morgan Griffiths at the goal scoring feat again. And then of course against Crusaders, he got 2 more, Stephen Walker getting one off the bench. A 3-2 win at Glenarvan was all about a Mark Wilson hat-trick, an early lead and then a late turnaround, a superstar with a 91st minute penalty. Then no, we did lose away at Glentoran, McElhatton off the bench to get one back. I kind of made a few mistakes here. I kept in tired players. I tried to go first team with the aim of resting everyone today, and I had to abandon it at half time and bring loads on because it just didn't work. They played us off the park first half. They probably deserved to win, but in the second we did create chances, not enough to get a point though. So against TNS and Ballymena today, 2 big home games. We've not actually done anything other than win at home this season. That includes in Europe, that includes against Salzburg. So let's see if we keep it up against TNS. We go into the fixture against a very capable opponent, one that we know will put us to the sword if we cause trouble. So let's have a look at what we can put out. They've just signed Elliot Thorpe, who's been a bit of a star in our Twitch save this season with Woking. You can follow that one up in the eye above. They've got Bashir Humphreys, who we've had in one of these saves before. Tariki Dembele, everyone knows him. There's some really good players in that squad. And don't forget, who else went there in the summer? It's only Ben Owen, isn't it? He's a bit of a fringe player for them. I don't know what sort of side they'll put out and whether he'll play as a result. But we might be coming up against a former star. So let's get the opposition instructions on. The lowest attendance of the season expected. Just 160 fans, not many travelling from Wales. Let's go and have a look at our 11. We'll put it together. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, in fact, I didn't really need to do that. I'd already pre-prepared. Daniels and McClelland are tired. They drop out of the squad entirely. On the bench, we've gone for Mark Wilson and Pardy. Jake Cooper just rotated things up a little bit. Tried to go where there's 2 similar options for the younger one or the one that doesn't play too often. And that means this is our team for today. I'm wary that we play Ballymena on Saturday. And while this is my favourite competition, a bit like when you're in the FA Cup in the lower leagues, you've got to bear in mind what the main priority is. This is the first year we could genuinely be in a title race. This is our 9th season now. We've got to crack on with it. So I don't want to throw it away just to get through in a cup. With the greatest of respect, and I love the competition, it ain't worth it that much. So we've left 5 first teamers in. The idea is that if we're then losing or winning heavily, we can take them off and rest them for the weekend. So that covers Callum Wilson and Bell, the 2 fullbacks. It also covers Whitehall, Griffiths and Varma. If it's going the other way, we can of course bring on the big hitters and maybe chase the game instead. But these are the teams we've gone for. We're sticking with Neil Kane in goal. That is the only first team decision which I wouldn't normally make for the Cups. So let's go and submit the team. It is a big 11 for this one. I didn't even run through it, did I? It's Neil Kane in goal. Wilson and Bell the fullbacks with Kean alongside Jones at centre-half. Burns, Whitehall and Griffiths the midfield 3. Farmer and Puarte the wingers. And Jonathan McElhatton, last season's top scorer, is up front on his own. Michael Galt, the TNS manager. Ben Owen is not in the squad. That's how strong they are. He certainly would have made our bench even now. I'm looking at their team. They've got a few of those stars in. No Elliot Thorpe though. They've definitely got a strong squad. He's playing in the English Championship with me at Woking. So he's a pretty big player to be missing out here. Dembele comes back in. They've got a very good side. So let's say our home form's important. Get Jonathan McElhatton inspired. He's ended his stupid unhappiness. Now let's get into the first half and see if that means it'll start scoring goals again. No fans in. It's like being in the 3rd tier again. Let's go and see if we can do it for ourselves. Well, early throw on the left-hand side for Curtis Bell. Just 4 minutes gone. Burns works into McElhatton and Wilson arriving from the right. Just heads it wide of that near post. Might have even clipped it on the way through. And we're spreading again for the goal kick, which Kane takes to Wilson. Not sure what the centre-half was doing there, but we get away with it. Jones had a stinker at the weekend. I've kept him in. Cooper will play the big game at the weekend. Might have been my big mistake at Glentoran, as Whitehall goes wide to the right. Puarte brings it down the line, into Griffiths. He's running off him again. Morgan Griffiths has been so good this season. And as I say that, he gives away possession. Clark clears it down the line. Wilson will chase, but TNS work their way out there. Really good play. Zariki Dembele in off the left side. Premier League player a few months ago. Now look at him as Clark down the left wing again. Puarte chases, forces him back. Curran cuts in, out wide again. They're playing it around really nicely. They're as good as a Linfield. They're up at that level. They've got that same European money and experience as Williams. Through to Dembele. He was a legend, wasn't he? As Skews puts in a screamer from 30 yards. I was distracted by Daniel Williams, being a legend of my Bangor City save. As Skews has put in an absolute rocket. Neil Kane had no chance in goal. We're 9 gone, we're 1-0 down as Varma gets it on the left to Griffiths. Gives it away again. Not the best passing range shown so far today. Burns wins it back though and finds Griffiths again, and he's giving it away again. I've not seen him have a worse start to a game this season yet. He's been so important, he's been so consistent, and in this one, he's really not delivering. As Skew's the goal scorer. Big ball over the top, we could be out of this. Mellor's in, it's 2-0 in 10 minutes. We've let in 2 goals in 45 seconds. Griffiths has given the ball away again, and this is turning into a nightmare. Our first season in the SPFL Trust Trophy, and it ain't going to last long at all. This gives you a bit of perspective of how far we've got to go. As Williams puts in another free kick to the back post. Mellor again. Could have been 3. We're definitely going to be resting our first teamers at half-time. We might be competitive in the Irish League, but TNS have got a little bit on us yet. We've not had a shot on target. We've had 1 clip the post from Wilson, but it has been all the visitors here, as Kean wins the header to Puarte and Wilson. Back again to Burns. Options down the line. Instead plays wide to Curtis Bell and Jones. Again, not really anyone at fault, other than the defensive players not getting caught by the high line. We're giving the ball away high up the pitch and just not defending the counter. As Puarte, how many 5-yard passes? I have not seen that from this team for years, even against Salzburg. Griffiths into McElhatton. It's a defensive mistake this time from TNS. We get 1 back. Griffiths gets his assist. But let's be honest, this has not been a good display. Both teams will be disappointed. We're fortunate we're only 2-1 down as Bell, on the left-hand side, finds Harley Jones and Burns. Into Whitehall. Big ball to McElhatton. He's got in again. Got to make it 2-2. Oh, it's a good block by the goalkeeper. Wonderful football. We went from short to direct very quickly. And in the end, it should have been an equaliser. As it is, we've got a throw by the corner flag with Bell. He finds Burns and McElhatton again. Great first touch. Blocked to Griffiths. And his goal-scoring run continues. A bonkers game of football. Both sides making calamities galore. And it's 2-2 with 28 on the clock. What a game of football for the neutral. Shame there's only 160 here. And with 5 to the break, it's another TNS attack. The pendulum swings yet again. They get in behind with Mella. Lovely back heel to Dembele. Back to Duke McKenna. Blocked to the right-hand side. Skews gets there first. Varma clears. Only as far as Pendleton. Edge of the box with a shot. Just over the bar. 2-2 it remains. It's a wonderful game. The defending, though, is leaving a lot to be desired. You could say our expected goals is stunning in comparison. You could argue they scored a screamer. But let's be fair, the scoreline is all that matters. Just want to see what Skew's long shot rating is, if we've got access to it. Probably don't have a full scout report, but he does look a good player in fairness, so I'm not going to judge that too much. Under 19 English international, playing in the Welsh Premier League at 23. There's something going right in that league, isn't there? Into the second half we go. We're going to leave it for now, give it 10 more minutes. Then we'll decide based on the score, based on the swing of the game. Do we take off the star players or do we take off the backups? Let's see which it will be. We're approaching the hour mark. It is decision time. There's a couple that are going to be picked for us due to fitness. Wilson at right back has got to come off. And we've probably got to do the same with Bell, haven't we? So let's bring Walker on left back. Cooper on for Wilson with Kean going out to the right. I'm also looking into midfield now at Archie Whitehall. They're all tiring, so I probably do have to take them off. I'm looking at the other ones that are there. Morgan Griffiths for Colin McCann. Oh, it's only 3 subs. Oh, I didn't realise. What a stupid schoolboy error. And now Griffiths and Varma will have to play. Or do I change who I'm taking off? Wilson will definitely go because he's on a yellow card. But Bell might now have to stay on. Oh, this is a big cock up this. Wilson replaced by Cooper. That one will definitely be done. Varma is going to come off for Lewis Scott. And in midfield, maybe Whitehall. I've got to keep one of him and Griffiths fit. Is Griffiths more important? Does he win us this game? Oh, I don't know. I'm going Bagley for Whitehall because if need be, Bagley can play midfield next game and Whitehall number 10. It's not ideal. It's not what we wanted to do. We thought we were going to get all 5 and then it would have been Morgan Griffiths off and it would have been Curtis Bell. Not to be 3 changes made. Half an hour to find a winner. Please don't let it go to extra time. Surely it's straight to pens. We're a quarter of the game to go. It is Curtis Bell who is knackered at left back. Poate's now picked up a knock as well. Oh, it's a disaster. We're going to encourage them, but there are going to be some problems against Ballymena United. That looks a foul throw from Kean, but he keeps possession. Jones finds Burns. Plays out from the back there. Plenty of options, but just goes backwards. Kean into Bagley again, the sub. And again, no ambition. We're just keeping the ball short, but not really going anywhere with it. Jones finds Burns again. Griffiths picks it up this time. Short pass even from him. Where is that moment to unlock the defence? Where is the quality? Burns switches right to Poate. He's on half a leg here, but he's still going as well as he can. Flicks it through to Griffiths. This is the man. Cuts it back to the edge to Poate. 2 options in the middle. Scott's one of them. Header's gone in. Somehow gone in. The goalkeeper makes a hash of it. He is a sub-keeper, I think, for them. But Lewis Scott with a header. Poate delivers the cross. And Morgan Griffiths, the composed man, making that third player run. As Kean picks it up to Poate on the right. Muggle-Hatton's been released long. They've gone attacking now. They're chasing the game. And there are gaps in behind. Muggle-Hatton cuts it back. Bagley chases. Muggle-Hatton in again. Nicks it off 2 defenders. It's shocking defending from TNS. But we are catching out the tired legs. We are catching out the team that are chasing the game. And at the back, we are taking advantage of mistakes. 4-2 Lisburn Distillery. The SPFL Trust Trophy run continues. 4 minutes of stoppage time. A brilliant display, particularly from 2-0 down. And now it looks like we're going to the next round as Poate. Maybe we'll actually get a Scottish side next time. Griffiths picking the ball up left. He looks tired. Hopefully he'll recover by the weekend. Out to Bagley on the edge. On the volley. Almost goes in. Curls wide at the far post. He had the keeper scrambling though. Oh, full-time whistle goes. It is a brilliant comeback. It was a wonderful game to watch, actually. Now can we recover for Saturday? Back in a minute for first v second. It's Distillery v Ballymena United. Well, here we are, back to league action, and it is a very big game because first v second, and to be fair, the sides you would expect to be competing are struggling to compete with Europe as well. Linfield have drawn 3 in a row after a perfect start. Larne have also dropped 5 points now. So if we can keep in the mix, as I mentioned earlier in the year, it will just put the pressure on them later in the season to say, we've got to win these games in hand to catch up, rather than we can go 10 clear if we do so. So let's go and get through to the team selection. We should have everyone fit because we've managed to rotate enough. I gave Griffiths and Bell 1 day off of training because they're both important. Wilson will come back in up front. We're going to bring Mpardi back in on the right-hand side. Cooper back in at centre-half. And we'll also bring in McClelland and Sean Daniels too. That should be our first 11. On the bench, Burns will of course replace McCann, who is nowhere near first team level. Kean will come back in, maybe, for Lewis Scott, although he had a very good game in the week. So I might just leave it at that as well. We've got then options at the back to replace any of the 4 as needed. So that is going to be our squad for today. A really big match here at the top of the table. It's Distillery v Ballymena. We've been imperious at home all year. But can we do the same now? Back to our first 11. Let's see if it pays off. And here we go against the Ballymena United side with 3 changes made. Just looking at the players in there, they've signed Ben Doherty for experience, but they've got some quality elsewhere too. Dave McCulloch's still going, someone we tried to sign a couple of years ago. So we've motivated and inspired a few of the lads. Now will they respond on the pitch? Into the first half we go. Again, as you can see, still most of these semi-pro clubs not bringing a big away following. We haven't got a home following at all at the moment. So we are reliant on Linfield visiting, on the likes of Coleraine bringing a few, Cliftonville bringing a few. And with Cliftonville struggling at the bottom as well, that ain't particularly helpful. Through to the first half we go, another low attendance, 248 in. Can we put on a show for them? Well, early doors, it's a long ball forward from Ballymena. Whitehall brings it down in midfield though to Bell. Daniels is refreshed and he gets it back to McClelland and he finds Wilson. To Whitehall, out to Mpardi, another that got most of the weekend off, or the midweek off, sorry. Mpardi again to Wilson and Daniels, good football. We're definitely controlling the ball a lot better in these games. We're having 60-70% of the ball. We've seen a few times this year it's taking longer to break teams down. They're playing a bit more defensively against us. Maybe that's a respect or a compliment to us, but it's not helping us get the wins easily. As Cooper at the back finds Daniels. Can we get the ball forward? We need that ball to unlock a defence, and here is Daniels looking for it. Wide to Varma on the left. He'll just charge down the line. We know what he does very well by now. Bell releases him again. Good inside run. Has support. Chips over to Mpardi. He gets in for 1-0. It's a brilliant run. It's a clever ball from Varma. And we're 9 on the clock. No such problems today. It's 1-0 Lisburn Distillery. We've got the early lead. Well, having said that, it's been very quiet since. 10 minutes to half time. The stats have actually levelled up a bit and there's not been much in the game. Glentoran winning again. They're having a better year so far. As McCann on the edge to Todd. Great effort for Ballymena. No pressure on him, which is a concern. But a shot, thankfully, is over the bar. Had the keeper worried without really frightening him. And at half time, in a thundering rain, it is 1-0 to Lisburn Distillery. That early goal makes a difference. But this is what we've generally seen in this season so far. In these games, as Cliftonville are finally winning, we get to the hour mark, we can make 3 or 4 changes and bring on players that are almost as good and still far better than the subs bench for the visitors. And that's generally where we've picked up our goals, as Griffiths looks for the through ball to Wilson. Not been great again. Wilson's a little bit on and off at the minute, but I'm aware that defences are playing deeper this year, which is causing trouble. Lafferty at right back for Ballymena. Down the line to McDonald. He cuts inside. Takes it over halfway. No real pressure. Leslie holds it up for Stewart. We've had problems with this side over the years, so let's hope that doesn't resurface today. As Doherty crosses to McCann, and that should have been 1-1. Heads over the bar. It's a glorious chance. We get away with one there. Quarter of the game to go. Wilson will be the first sub. In fact, both Wilsons are going to come off, I think. We'll go Wilson off at right back for Harley Jones. We'll put McClelland out to right back. Then up front, Mark Wilson off for McElhatton. We'll probably make more in a few more minutes, but I don't want to overdo it. I just want to show how strong our squad is. Jones adds a bit more aerial presence in defence. McElhatton adds a goal-scoring threat. And Jones also wins a penalty. Handball for Todd. He's on a yellow already. Got to be off here, surely. Second yellow card. He is. What a way to get sent off. Todd is sent off. It's 2-0 if McElhatton scores this. And he does just that. Down the middle, almost immediately after coming on. Ballymena United, 2 down and a man down. It should be all over in this one. We're going to bring on Burns for Whitehall. Not the normal sub I make in that role. But I just want to bring on the younger player who's got the ability, or the potential, sorry, if he gets more football. Burns at 23 is that. Bagley, more at the other end of his 20s now. I'm looking at the number 10 role. I might have to do both anyway. Who can I put number 10? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go Umpardi number 10, and then on the right, Puarte. And the final sub, do I rest Curtis Bell after playing in midweek? Maybe I do. I can bring on Walker for him. But no, we're going to go Varma off, Lewis Scott on. He's our own youngster. Let's take care of him. We got 10 days off before the cup game next up. So let's just make sure we win this one, because the stats are dead even. 9 shots each, 5 on target. It's just that we've taken ours. They had a great headed opportunity just before, but against 10 now, we should be able to be positive, keep possession well, release chances like this with McElhatton, and it's just wide of the post. Could have been 3, probably should have been in truth. In the end, it remains just 2, and it looks like it's going to be 3 more points. Bar that one blip at Glentoran, it's been a very good start to the season, and at home, it is perfect, as Umpardi's released by McElhatton, shots just over the bar. Without Griffiths, without Wilson, not quite that same composure in the finishing now. It does look like Cliftonville are finally getting their win as we move into 4 minutes of added on time. Jones heads the ball forward to Umpardi. Can we get one more? Burns up to McElhatton. It's cleared away. In goes McClellan, though. Careful not to get a second yellow. Releases Puarte on the right. Great ball in. McElhatton shot saved. Probably should have scored again. Could have had a hat-trick quite easily. Instead, it's just his penalty that makes the difference. 2-0 at full time against 10-man Ballymena. And that should put us 4 points clear. A very good start to the league season. We'll have a quick look at Linfield and Larne's first European results. And then when we're going to be back. Well, for Linfield, I'm afraid in the Europa League, 2 defeats and they are joint bottom on 0 points. Not looking good for them so far. On the other hand, in the Europa Conference for Larne, where are they? 26th, no points, but a -1 goal difference. So they obviously ran it close in their first game. That was at Galatasaray, so not a bad effort at all. For us though, let's go and have a look at the schedule. We've got a game to look forward to at the end of this calendar year. Partick Thistle in the 4th round of the SPFL Trust Trophy. Be good to test ourselves against a professional team. And you know what? I'm looking at it now. We've got 11 games before that. I might come back for that one. We've got Linfield immediately after, apparently 2 games apart, or 2 days apart, sorry. It doesn't look particularly good spell for us there. All of that run at the start of the year where we've had the largely bottom half teams there, well, Ballymena, Partick, Linfield, Larne, Glentoran all in a row. It's going to be one hell of a festive schedule. We'll be back for the start of that unless there's any big stories in the meantime. If you did enjoy this one, back-to-back wins including a big comeback against TNS, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the performances. Do you think we can push for the title this year? And is Linfield's new manager, are you going to be right on it? Is he going to cost them domestically as well as he's doing in Europe? If you want to find out all the answers, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back in a couple of days' time with this one, a big test against Scottish opposition. In the meantime, we'll be back with the head coach tomorrow. It is the final day relegation decider. You can't afford to miss it. I can't afford to get it wrong, or I could be jobless in that save once again. If you've missed any of that season so far, it's up in the eye above with the Twitch channel, football podcast and the blog story too. There's also a link to HelloFresh for US customers down below. Get money off your first box, free shipping, and of course help this channel as well. But a massive thank you for watching. Your support as always is appreciated. Can we finally push for our first title of the save? Cross your fingers. I'll see you in 2 days as we edge closer to finding out.